Thank you guys for coming to listen to my talk today. My name is Kevin Grundy. I am an independent distributor for Longevity, and I am a herbalist. I am a member of the New Zealand Association of Medical Herbalists and the American Herbalist Guild. I specialise in Western herbal medicine, natural and nutritional health. I am a 3-star longevity executive, and as I said earlier, I'm independent. It means that I work for myself and enjoy the lifestyle. So today we're going to talk about the so-called coronavirus, plus how longevity works with the coronavirus, and we're also going to finish the talk off with the aroma share of the month. So the coronavirus. There's been a lot of hype about the coronavirus. So the coronavirus originated in Wuhan. Now Wuhan is a province in China. Now there's a lot of speculation of how this virus has occurred. Now there is a website at the top of the screen, greatgamesindia.com/coronavirus-bioweapon. If anybody would like to learn a little bit more on potentially how it's originated, then I suggest go and have a bit of a read of that on that article. It's very eye-opening, and as Peter Glidden says, if it flies like a duck, looks like a duck, sounds like a duck, it's a duck. And so I am not going to make a decision yay or nay. I'll leave that to you to decide, but it's some interesting reading. So what is the coronavirus? So the coronavirus, or the COVID, are a large family of viruses causing illnesses ranging from the common cold to the more serious diseases such as the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, which is that MERS, or the Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, which is SARS. And so when we talk about the coronavirus, all of these viruses are all part of the coronavirus. So the corona is actually a family group of viruses. So the virus itself is not actually called the coronavirus. And so when we look at the most common cold, the flu as we call it, that is also a coronavirus, believe it or not. And more people die of the common flu or the common cold every year than what SARS and MERS ever did. And so it's still good that we need to get control and stop the spread of it. But to put things in perspective, you know, there's a couple of hundred people died in China. But when you put that in perspective, there are millions and millions of people in China, and only an extremely more small number have died and been affected compared to the population base. Just here in Australia alone, over 100 to 200 people die just from the common cold virus. It is called a novel coronavirus when a new strain has been identified in humans. The public health, the English public health is currently using the name Wuhan novavirus, or the WN covirus, for this new strain, named after where it was discovered. Until there is an acceptable international name, then that's what tends to be the catchphrase at the moment. And if you look at the bottom right of my screen, there is the picture of that virus. So it may be referred to as the 2019 novel coronavirus, or the 2019 COVID virus, everywhere else around the world. So where did it come from? So on December the 31st last year, the World Health Organization was informed that a cluster of pneumonia, cold-like symptoms caused in the city of Hubei, province of China. My Chinese isn't very good, mind you. Sometimes my English isn't good either. So on the January the 12th of this year, the virus was identified and samples were obtained. And the initial analysis suggested that this outbreak was caused by this virus. Many, but not all, of the cases identified in Wuhan have been to or have worked in the seafood area and live in and around the marketplace. So there is a big market in this province. It's a seafood market, and they've managed to identify that as the epicenter. Now, I'd like just to point out there that that epicenter was only 20 miles from the Chinese biosecurity lab where this particular virus was in residence. And so there is thought that it may have got out or got out purposely. And so the market was closed on January the 1st, and the whole market is sanitized. So what are the symptoms of this virus? Well, just like any virus that we get, it tends to come in the form of like the common flu. So you can have fever, fatigue, you can have a dry cough. And so these are the early symptoms. The conditions causes difficulty with breathing. It is said to be common in hospital patients, while vital signs were reported to be generally stable at all times of admission. Older patients with underlying diseases are more likely to progress with this severe disease. How is it passed on? Well, the contraval is passed on easily from person to person, while other types of viruses isn't. Swine flu, for instance, wasn't easily passed on with humans. So this illness can be passed on just like the common cold, just through sneezing, coughing, or touching surfaces where somebody has who has the infection has touched. These could be your shopping trolley handles. These could be your doorknobs. These could be handrails. Anywhere where you touch, somebody who's infected, they touch it and then they pass it back on to you. So little is known about this virus at this stage, but investigations are ongoing, and to date, the indications that human-to-human transmission is occurring. So the latest signs are showing that people can transmit it from human to human. And so that's been one of the biggest problems they've had with this virus, is they weren't quite sure whether you had to be in contact with the area or whether it could be passed on to human. I personally thought that the fact that it's spreading so fast would have been an indication to that. So the Chinese health minister has warned that the ability of the virus to spread is getting stronger and accelerating, and that the disease is infective before symptoms show. And so like you're starting to see on the news, they're starting to quarantine people. If they've been in that region, they're quarantining them for 2 weeks, because that's how long it is taking for this virus to come out and be a symptom like you're sneezing and you're coughing. So that makes it extremely hard to contain. So what do? Well, we don't treat the virus as per such, okay? We allow the body to do it. So let thy food be the medicine. So what do we need to do? We need to strengthen the immune system. Remember, the people who were affected by this virus tend to be weak in their immune system. They tend to have respiratory issues. And so given that knowledge, then that's what we need to strengthen. We need to strengthen our immune system. And so we know that our immune system requires high protein. The immune system is made up of protein. We also know that sugar can suppress our immune system. Okay, so what sugar does, it slows down the messenger So when we get a virus, or we have we're been in a situation where the virus is, then messengers in our body go out and they rustle up an army. And so these are called antibodies. And so these little messengers, they rustle up these antibodies, and these antibodies then start to gather momentum, gather force, and they'll start to attack the virus. But the problem with sugar suppresses that messenger. They go to sleep. And so now the virus and the opposing army starts to gather up momentum before our army even knows what's going on. So sugar is a no-no when it comes to fighting viruses, and higher protein, good quality protein is essential. So what do? We need to keep our immune system strong. Now, you've heard me talk in some of my lectures the importance of cleaning up your diet. I also have another really good talk on putting out the fire, removing foods that are problematic to your health. So it's very important that we start by having a strong immune system, and we do that by removing things that knock our immune system for six. We've got to get rid of that wheat, barley, rye, and oats. That's that gluten. Get rid of the oils. Get rid of the nitrates, especially the nitrates, because the nitrates damage our digestion system. They kill bacteria. And remembering that our immune system starts in our gut. Our immune system starts with bacteria. And so we need to keep our bacteria as healthy as we can. So we need to remove foods that are going to compromise this. The other thing we need to remove is your sprayed vegetables and your sprayed foods. Because remember, when they spray something, that spray is a pesticide. It's designed to kill pests, just like nitrates are designed to kill bacteria in meat. But you've got to remember, we're one big giant colony of bugs, bacteria. So the last thing we need to do is to have something that's going to suppress our bugs. We need to encourage growth of good bugs, not encourage growth of bad bugs. So we need to clean up that diet. So in order for the body to function optimally, we need to consume those right amount of essential nutrients. And there are 90 of them, and we need these every day. And that for longevity comes in the form of our Healthy Start Pack. Why? Because it has the 60 minerals. It has the 16 amino acids, so 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 fatty acids. This is our building block for building better health. So then where do we go? So we understand that to be proactive with our health, we need to start with the Healthy Start Pack. We also need good gut support. But what if you've got the symptoms? What if you got the common cold? How do you fight it? We understand through the 90 for Life message how to rebuild our immune system and how to keep our immune system strong with our 90 for Life pack. But what if you do find yourself in a situation where your system's compromised? We need to rebuild this immune system. So Longevity has an array of products that help with the immune system, keeping it stronger. And of course, one of our best packs is the Immune Support Pack. Why? The Immune Support Pack contains those powerful nutrients that help support a healthy child's immune system, an adult's immune system, the elderly's immune system. So during periods where viruses and bacteria are easily transmittable, so giving the immune system some extra nutrients will help maintain that ultimate health. And the immune pack comes not just one bottle of stuff, it carries 3 or 4 different types of products. It has zinc. Zinc is known to help rebuild the immune system. There's a formula there called 911. 911 is like Longevity's on-call doctor. It helps fight bugs, it helps fight bacteria and viruses. It's really good for supporting the immune system. We also have vitamin C. There's enough research out there now to show the importance of vitamin C. You know, scurvy, which was the early day condition that sailors used to have. They used to reach for limes and citrus to ward off scurvy. So we know the importance of vitamin C. And of course, the famous Killer Biotic. The Killer Biotic is a stand-fast, really good product for helping to support that immune system. So, and of course, with the pack, it comes with a secondary level of vitamin C. So we have 2 forms of vitamin C in this immune pack. So this is a really great place to start for somebody who needs a good all-round fighting machine. So Killer Biotics. Killer Biotics is a proprietary blend of nutrients, including your bee pollen. The bee pollen is where comes from the bee itself. It's a protective barrier that the bees produce. And so the pollen is a powerful antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral agent which bees collect to keep their hives free from these bacteria and molds. So without the bees having this protection, then obviously the hive would potentially die through airborne invaders. And so the Killer Biotic is a really good formula to help support that immune system and help ward off those bugs. Then we have Rainforest. Now Rainforest is a lovely product. It's a mango-based. It's a full-strength plant-derived mineral. It's liquid, helps with the detoxification, it tones and supports the digestion system, and it enhances the immune support. And so remember when I said earlier that a lot of our immune starts in our digestion? We need to support digestion in a very big way. And so the Rainforest is a great product for that. It has echinacea, and we know that echinacea is an immune modulator. It could ward off viruses and many other things that echinacea does. So that is definitely one that we can reach for. Then we have the Oxybody cherry berry. So the Oxybody cherry berry is an oxygen saturated nutrient. Okay, so it's got pure oxygen in it with aloe vera and some other herbs and spices. It's got ginkgo, grapeseed, peppermint. So these are all good herbs for helping with the immune system. And you take around 30 to 60 mils on an empty tummy per day. And of course, 30 mils is equivalent to like 25 drops of food-grade hydroperoxide. Another thing we need to consider, remember I talked about how by touching handrails, you go to the supermarket and you're touching those trolleys. Well, then why not carry a bottle of our PureWorks foam, antibacterial foam? It softens the skin while providing hours of lasting protection against those bacteria and harmful germs. So you can use it when you're traveling. You keep it in your bag. They come in several sizes. So when you're among the dirt, you're out with people, you're in an airplane. You know, airplanes are a very bad place for catching things. If you read the magazine, if you read the how to get out of the airplane fast manual, just think, they're never cleaned. They might clean the seats around, but they don't clean all the magazines and that. And they get loaded in the beginning of the day, and by the end of the day, dozens and dozens of people could have touched those. So if you're really conscious about being proactive with hygiene, well, then you just flip some of this into your bag, and then you can use it while you're traveling. Colloidal silver. Now, colloidal silver is an excellent product for helping with the immune system. Now, colloidal silver has been used in hospitals for treating infections or on bandages to keep those infections down. So listening to Peter Glidden, he came up with a really good way of using it, especially in this particular case with respiratory problems. If you put some colloidal water into some hot water and then put your head over and make one of those atomizer baths and start to breathe in the vaporized colloidal silver. Now you're getting colloidal silver into your lungs and helping with any infection within the lungs. So this product has been tested to contain 5 parts per million of pure colloidal silver with an average size of 0.00 micron. So it's extremely, extremely small. And remember, the definition of colloidal means suspended particle. So these particles are so fine, despite them being silver, which is heavy, they're so fine, they will float in your solution. And so we know that the colloidal silver is a great product for supporting that immune system and knocking off some of those ugly, ugly bugs. So it contains the deionized water with that pure silver. And if you want to drink, you put a few drops in some water and you drink about 8 glasses per day. Now, the warning with colloidal silver, only use it when you need to use it. Too much exposure to colloidal silver can make your skin turn blue. And so those English people who were called blue-blooded in the early days, well, that's because they had this blue or greyish hue on their skin. And that was because all of their eating utensils, their plates, their spoons, their cups were made out of silver. And so after a prolonged period of time using them, they started to go blue and hence blue blood. We can't go past our good herbs, Super Olive Health. We know the importance of olive, how it boosts the immune system, how it helps with everyday viruses, etc. So olive is known as one of the most useful single herbs in the herbal kingdom. Olive leaf has antibacterial, antiviral, antimicrobe, and antifungal properties. Super Olive Health is made with pure, unadulterated, chemical-free, natural herbs that provide you with pure leaf extract. Super Olive contains 500 milligrams of olive leaf extract to support a healthy immune, digestive, circulatory, and urinary system. Again, just another one for helping support that system. Then we have the Good Herbs Respiratory formula. Again, as the name says, it's working with the respiratory, supporting the problems we have. So the respiratory support contains a proprietary blend of herbs, organic or well-crafted herbs that support healthy lungs and bronchial and a healthy respiratory and immune system. Again, we're supporting. So the respiratory supports your respiratory system. That includes your airways, your lungs, your blood vessels, the muscles, all that work together to help you breathe. And it's a proprietary blend of herbs, including garlic, and we all know the importance of garlic. If you're using garlic, of course, as an antimicrobe, please, you do not cook with it. Heat destroys the antimicrobe effect in garlic. Now, garlic heated has still got other good properties, really good for the cardio and good for your blood, but the antimicrobe effect, and that means antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, that effect is destroyed with heat. Mullein, oat straw, blessed thistle, burglewheat, elecampane. The elecampane is another really good herb for the respiratory system, and marshmallow helps soothe their respiratory, and Yaba Santa. So that sort of is an overlook on how longevity can help you support your immune system. There's quite a few other products available in our arsenal to help support the new immune system, like the goat cheese. But I just wanted to focus on what our core products were and giving you an idea of what to do.